This week, I fly on a beaten-up old plane. It's seen better days. Meet a man called Garfield.
Or you could just say I met Garfield the cat.
And have a spot of trouble with passport control on a Caribbean island. He went through my YouTube account, he went through my Instagram. I don't know what he was looking for as I take a trip to the Bahamas. Welcome to Orlando in Florida, a place that I should not have been today. I was supposed to be right now on the other side of the world. But today, long story short, I'm flying an airline that most people don't really talk about. And it's an airline that I've never seen much spoken about online as well, because today, well, we're heading out of Florida and heading somewhere even more tropical. Let's go and get checked in. So I'm heading off to the Bahamas today with their national airline, Bahamas Air. They fly different types of planes all around North America. This is one of the longer routes that they do, but even then it's not very long. It's only a couple of hours from here across to the Bahamas. But we're going to be taking a flight with them today to see what they're like. First of all though, I've got to find where you can check in for them. Hi there. Hey, checking in for NASA. Thank you.
You know, you remind me of that guy I was doing the show.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Get out of here!
How are you?
The minute I heard that accent,
Watching you.
no, your voice give me away. Yeah. Don't talk bad about us now.
How could I?
I watch you. No, his accent, I heard that accent. And I just said, hold on. You sound just like that guy.
Okay, perfect.
Right over here by Delta.
Well, my name is Garfield, so you could say Garfield.
Hey, Garfield,
what's
like
up?
the cat. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Or
you.
you could just say I met Garfield the cat.
Yeah.
The famous Garfield. All right?
Nice one. Well, good to see you anyway.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Will you be at the gate as well?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right.
sir.
I'll see you through
I'll
there then.
definitely come there to see you.
Thank you. See you later.
All right, yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
All right.
They were nice, weren't they? Thanks, Garfield, from your boarding pass. To see you down at the gate. Let's go and get through security now. I've arrived on United, but clearly here at Orlando, you can't just connect airside. You've got to sort of come through security and go back through again anyway. So that's what we'll do now. I'll head back through security, take a little train across to the gate. Hi there, how are you? Thank you. Thanks. Hi there, how are you?
Good. We're going to take a look at the camera here.
Good, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Have a safe flight.
Thanks. So after clearing security, it was time to head down to the little train that takes you out to the remote gates here at Orlando Airport. Orlando's quite unique and I quite like it really. You go through security at the main terminal, then get a little train out to the concourse where the planes are. Thank you. Thank you. Burger King for my lunch. I used to work at Burger King, by the way, many years ago. It was one of my first proper jobs I had and loved it. Also one of my favourite jobs I ever had as well. It was a real place to work. Leicester Forest East service station on the M1. I used to work there for about 2 years. Still tastes as good now as it does then. Taking a flight today with Bahamas Air then. They are the national airline of the Bahamas. They fly to quite a few destinations over here in the States. They operate a lot of ATRs into the smaller airports here, but also they've got a fleet of 737s. Until recently, and by recently I mean a few years ago, they had 737-200s. It's quite rare these days. They were one of the last airlines to fly them, and now they've got 700s, which is still pretty rare as a 737 variant. That's still pretty rare. So it's going to be nice to get a ride on one of them today and see what they're like. People have been asking me to fly with Bahamas Air for a very long time. Never been in a position where I've been heading to the Bahamas really, but this week I thought, you know what, let's go and give it a go and see what the aviation action is like over there in the Bahamas, and that's where we're off to. So I've spoken to a few people today and told them I'm going on Bahamas Air to the Bahamas, and every single one of them has told me good luck. It's a bit dark, hasn't it? Has told me good luck. Do I need to be worried? Bahamas Air that bad? I don't know. We'll figure it out. What am I letting myself in for here? Well, I wouldn't have too long to worry about that because my plane had already arrived at the gate. So that there then is my ride over to Nassau in the Bahamas. It's a Boeing 737-700. Not the most common of them. They were for a while. They're very common over in Europe. At least EasyJet used to have them. I flew on an EasyJet one when it was first delivered quite some time ago, and yeah, they don't have them anymore. But yeah, it's going to take me about an hour and a half today on a flight across to Nassau. If we go on time, we'll figure it all out, I don't know. How bad are the Bahamas there? Why is everybody telling me good luck and Godspeed? We'll figure it out, I guess. Let's go and get on board. And yeah, maybe I should have read the reviews before I booked my flight with Bahamas Air, because they only get a 2-star rating on TripAdvisor, and the reviews are absolutely slating of them. Delayed flights, cancelled flights, lost bags, the works, everything is listed on here, and it's all in the last few months as well, which is crazy. I scrolled back months and wasn't able to find a single positive review for Bahamas Air, so yeah, it was going to be an interesting experience, that was for sure. Now, before we board, I've got something pretty exciting to announce. I'm co-hosting a brand new aviation creator convention next April called AvCon, happening at the Delta Flight Museum in Atlanta. Think Comic-Con, but for AvGeeks. I'll be there along with Josh Cahill, Jeb Brooks, Swiss 001, Airline Videos Live, and many more creators too. It's a full day of panels, meet and greets, vendors, and all things AvGeek. Tickets are on sale now. Head over to avcon.com to grab your boarding pass. Hey, how are you?
Captain Fernando.
Hello, Captain. How are you? Good to meet you.
Yeah,
My name's
yeah.
Noel. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want you to meet him. That's
Yeah,
all.
nice one. Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, it goes around the world. Next time I'll tell you. Yeah. Huh?
Thank you. Have a good flight. Thank you.
Whenever you're ready, you can board.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Thank you.
Whenever you're ready.
And then it was time to join the mammoth queue to get on board the Bahamas Air 737. Seriously, this queue took like 15 minutes to get down the jet bridge. And somehow Garfield still beat me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
See you later. Hey there, how are you?
I'm great. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
So here we were then, the Bahamas Air 737, and it can best be described as, well, a little bit rustic. You'd be forgiven for thinking this was a Southwest Airlines plane by the old seats on board, but this plane had actually never flown for them before. Welcome on board Bahamas Air's Boeing 737-700 heading across to Nassau in the Bahamas. It's seen better days, this plane, it's fair to say. It's a very old aircraft, 25 years old or so now. The seats look like it was with Southwest Airlines before. They've got the kind of grey and blue seats, although albeit very tired and falling to bits a little bit, but hey, as long as it gets us there, that's the important thing, really. Legroom isn't too bad, really. I mean, remember I'm 6'5", so I've got a little bit of room there to jiggle about a little bit should I want to. I've got my bag under my seat. Overhead bins are the old style, not very big ones as well, so it does mean that if you've got a rollerboard case like I have, then you're not going to have much room for them on board. But anyway, we're here on board, ready to go to the Bahamas, baby. Let's roll. If I thought the cabin was bad enough, well, that was until I'd seen the safety card. I mean, come on, guys, it's not that difficult to print new safety cards, is it? But nonetheless, anyway, we were soon pushing back from the gate, pretty much on time actually, for our flight across the Atlantic Ocean to the Bahamas. My flight today then took us east out of Orlando across Florida and then down across the Bahamas to Nassau. Flight time today was 51 minutes, cruising at 30,000 feet. Right then, we are airborne from Orlando, heading out east across the Atlantic Ocean to the Bahamas, which I'm really looking forward to. I've only been there once or twice before and never actually flown on any of the local airlines over there, so I'm actually quite looking forward to going over there and spending a bit of time hopping around various islands. So this plane then, it has these old Southwest Airlines style seats, which is always strange. It's the second airline I've flown on that's had these seats fitted, even though the aircraft have never been part of Southwest Airlines. Venezuela had these seats on their 737-200 down in Venezuela. That plane had never been with Southwest either. I can only think that Southwest must have sold an absolute batch of these seats when they got rid of their older planes. It's the only thing that would explain why they're flying quite a few airlines around the world with these seats on them. This plane then was originally delivered way back in 2004 to Copa Airlines over in Panama. After it flew for them for a bit, it went on to fly for Lucky Air, a Chinese airline. It spent almost 20 years over there flying in China with Lucky Air. And then finally, a few years ago, that's when Bahamas Air picked this plane up, and presumably that's when they put these seats on, unless Lucky Air put these seats on when they had it, I don't know. But the plane's never flown for Southwest, like, ever. This video is brought to you by Surfshark. Now, as you guys know, there is nothing I enjoy more in the world than surfing. I'd even go so far as to say I'm actually pretty good at it. Well, not this sort of surfing. Obviously, I'm not very good at this. It's far too cold and wet for my liking. I much prefer a different sort of surfing. Surfing the web. I'm really good at that, and I can spend hours at it. You see, thanks to Surfshark, surfing the web is a lot more pleasurable and safer too. Surfshark's a VPN that encrypts all of your data, even when I'm travelling on public airport hotspots and Wi-Fi, on planes, in hotels, you name it. Whenever I'm on public Wi-Fi, my data's safe because I'm encrypted through the Surfshark VPN. You see, a VPN encrypts your data, which means that you're not leaving anything on display for the rest of the world to see. Even when I'm not travelling though, Surfshark comes in handy because I can sit and watch TV as if I'm anywhere else in the world, which is really handy because I live here in the States. Thanks to Surfshark, I can still watch my favourite TV programmes with Susie, like Gogglebox. Super easy to install. You go on the website, you download it and install it, you sign into your account, and then you can choose whichever country you'd like to connect through. Right now, Surfshark are offering you 4 extra months completely free of charge at surfshark.com/Noel Phillips. So there is in-flight service, a bottle of water, Sam's Club water. They've been down Sam's Club is any non-Americans, by the way. Sam's Club's like their competitor to Costco. So they've basically been down Costco and bought some water for the flight. Not complaining, it's an hour-long flight. A bottle of water is good. As well as waiting to get on board this plane, Garfield, my new friend down at Bahamas Air, gave me a little present because apparently yesterday was the anniversary of the Bahamas independence from the UK, and they were giving out these little gifts to the passengers, and they give me one today. A little Bahamian flag, Bahamas Air keychain, a sticky pouch to put on the back of your cell phone so that you can have your credit cards and stuff in there. Pretty cool, really. Thank you, Garfield, and thank you, Bahamas Air. I shall celebrate the independence of Bahamas from the UK with my little flag. And with my flag in hand, it wasn't too long at all until we were starting our descent down towards the Bahamas. It's just a shame that with this filthy window I wasn't able to get much of a good view over the beautiful crystal clear beaches. My flight to the Bahamas then cost me $209, or roughly 63 cents a mile, which I didn't think was too bad really for an hour-long flight in this part of the world. Yes, the plane was beaten up, tired and falling to bits, but you know what? That's part of the charm of flying on some of these airlines, and it's the reason why I love flying on them so much. All I needed to do now was to get off the plane and get through customs, which would turn into a little bit more of a problem than I perhaps envisaged. Thank you, bye-bye. So, like always, I got to the end of the passport line and shut off my camera. And that's when things started to get interesting. So I got to the front of the immigration queue and the officer started asking me all the usual stuff really, where I was staying, when I was flying home, and he asked to see proof of my return flight. I opened up my phone to pull up my itinerary, and that is when things started to get interesting. He took my phone off me and started opening up my social media apps, first Instagram and then YouTube, just scrolling through my feed. And this bit was the most surreal, he picked up his own phone and searched me up on YouTube. There I was, popped up on his screen while he casually scrolled through all of my videos. He didn't say much, he just told me to wait. And then he walked off with his phone in his hand to speak to a supervisor. Now, it was probably 5 minutes, but it felt more like hours. Eventually he came back, handed me my passport and said, "Thank you, you're free to go." Now, I know what some of you are already thinking, that's outrageous, they took your passport and looked through your social media, but here's the thing, entering a country, any country, isn't a right, it's permission. You're asking a foreign government to let you in, and they are absolutely within their rights to say no. And it's not just the Bahamas, countries like the United States, Australia, the UK, Canada, they all have the authority to go through your phone or your social media if they feel the need. It's rare, but it does happen, so no, this wasn't the Bahamas being over the top, it could have just as easily happened at Heathrow or Vancouver or JFK. Does it feel strange? Well, yeah, definitely, but if we want to visit other countries, we have to respect that it's their house and their rules. I'm just glad he didn't find me OnlyFans. He'd have been very disappointed. But OnlyFans or not, eventually I got through to the baggage claim and headed out to collect my car to take me to my Airbnb. Alright, finally through Nassau Airport. That was a nightmare getting into the Bahamas. I did not expect that at all. I've been through the Bahamas a couple of times and I've always found their immigration guys pretty chill, but today... Anyway, we're in. Got my rental car for a little bit. I'm heading down to my Airbnb that I've got here on Nassau Island. Right then, I've made it to Nassau in the Bahamas. How cool is this? This is my Airbnb for the next few days here. It's all mine, I'm the only one here. Got my own pool and everything, cabana and everything over there. This is going to be lush for a few days, but in any case, that was Bahamas Air. They brought me all the way to the bananas, baby, and I've got another few days here in the Bahamas. We're doing some more Caribbean island hopping over the next few days. Loads and loads of cool stuff coming up on this Caribbean adventure. Everywhere from here, as far south in the Caribbean as you can get practically. And yeah, looking forward to sharing it with you all here on YouTube. But anyway, let me know what you thought to Bahamas Air down in those comments before. Have you flown on them before? What did you think to them? Any more recommendations, things you might like me to see try here in the Caribbean as well? Let me know. I might be doing them anyway, but let me know and I'll see what I can do. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.